Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the anti-white propaganda that the media, the Western mainstream globalist controlled media, are constantly, incessantly pushing in our faces. I mean, it's lies, 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 and more lies. It's fantasies, inventions, and yet more lies again. That's all it is. Now, I could pick pretty much that there's always a number of articles every day that are anti-white propaganda, and I mean propaganda, something that has no basis in fact. So let me just look at a couple of stories or a few stories here. So now this is one of the biggest Western news outlets, in the Western world. So they get quite a lot of government funding and NGO support. So they're very much in that globalist, leftist, all white people are evil camp. So here's a story here now. A brown woman comes to a white country. And no one made her come, no one forced her to come, no one demanded she come. She wanted to come to a white country because it's a better quality of life in the white country. Okay, the white country let her in and gave her an education paid for by white taxpayers. She then got affirmative action through into university, more white taxpayer money, and then is given a government job, yet more white taxpayer money. So this is someone who you can hardly say that she's hard done by. But she decides to move to an area of this white country, a district or a region that's 99.5% white. So that's her decision to move. No one's making her or forcing her, or it's not conditional on, say, pay rises or promotions or anything like that. She's choosing to go there to an area where there are no people like her. Now, the minute she gets there, she then complains, "Hey, there's no people like me here. I am the victim of racism." Well, wait a minute. What is this racism that you speak of? Well, I'm brown and in a minority. The white people are in a majority. And as long as white people are in a majority, then they're being racist to me because I'm brown. Whoa, hold on. You've chosen to move there. You can go and move to an area anywhere where there's other brown people. There's no one stopping you. No. I want to go to an area that's nearly all white so I can accuse them of being racists. Don't you see? I'm the brown person here, and they're all racist because they're in the majority. Wait a minute. I mean, just because there's more white people than brown people, that means the white people are automatically racist by default? Yes, you've got it. Well, what if the brown people are in the majority and the white people are in the minority? Wouldn't that make the brown people racist? No. Only white people can be racist because they're the fascist Nazi fucking Hitlers. Don't you get it? Gee whiz, you're so fucking stupid and slow. They're the Nazis, the white people. Ah, okay. Oh, well, there you go. So this is the playbook. This is how they do it. They find, they'll insert one brown or black or non-white person or non-heterosexual person or whatever. They'll insert one minority into an area, and then they'll say everyone else is a racist or transphobic or homophobic or something like that. That's always the playbook, and everyone else has to tiptoe around it. And it's got support of all the governments and the institutions and the courts and all this. So it's very much supported by the globalist infrastructure. But we need to understand this is how they destroy, crush, otherwise divide, sap the confidence of white society by creating these, artificially and mischievously and I think maliciously creating and inventing these social divisions that otherwise don't exist. So then there's a story of a minority brown boy in a school. I always felt oppressed, and he's using sophisticated Marxist sort of oppression type language, according to the article in the media article, even though he's like 8 years old and obviously wouldn't talk like that. So clearly this is, again, another pack of lies that's being foisted upon us. But now he's so happy because he's got a teacher that isn't white, and he's brown, and he's now got a teacher that isn't white, and that's made all the difference. And now he knows that he can be president of the universe, and because of this encouragement, because now he feels so much better because there's a brown teacher there. So, but aren't there white kids? So there's white kids in the class and one brown kid, but there has to be a brown teacher for the one brown kid. But what about all the white kids? Wouldn't they see maybe that they're being oppressed now? Well, if they think that, they're fucking fascist Nazi little Hitlers, and we've just got to get inside their heads to make sure they don't think that way. Well, wait a minute. The other way, when the brown kid didn't have a brown teacher, he was being oppressed. So now with the brown teacher, aren't the white kids being oppressed? No. They're the fucking fascist Nazis, not the brown kid. So it's only ever one way. Is that it? Got it, baby. So all across these stories, it's the same theme. It's asserted. The brown person says, I've been the victim of racism so many times, but there's no facts. This happened and it happened here, it happened in those times. There's just this sort of miasma of racism is just everywhere. They don't have to prove it. They don't have to say what form or shape this racism took, or if it even exists. They don't have to prove it. They're just them asserting it or claiming it. That's fact, and that's feature story news right there. So this is absurd. This is not journalism by any measure. I mean, you couldn't call it journalism at all. And yet this is what passes for news now on all the major news outlets, whether it be in print or online or anywhere. So we need to understand this is a concerted, coordinated, planned, malicious effort to undermine white society. It has no other purpose than that, to undermine white society and to create division where there is none. We see it even, for example, in Australia, where in a census not that long ago, there were certain areas of Australia that are still more in the rural sort of or outer suburban areas that are 99%, 97% white, that sort of thing. And it's effectively asserted that these places, just because they're majority white, must be bastions of far-right, fascist Nazi Hitler, just because they're majority white and no other reason. That even having whites in the majority is in itself an expression of unspeakable evil. Hitler himself is roaming around the streets just by being majority white in a white country. So the reverse must apply then, that if one white person goes to China, then all the other Chinese must therefore be racist because there's only one white person. No. That's not how it works. It only works in the white countries, and only whites, uniquely whites and only whites can be racist. And the most racist whites of all are straight white Christian males. They are the fucking racist of the racist of the racist. They make Hitler look like choir boy. Seriously, that's how bad these white people are. So that's pretty much the line that all these stories take. Now, if it was factual and hard numbers crunched, and it was not ideological at all, and you go, okay, well maybe they've got a point here. But it would then have to work in the reverse, that one white person goes to China, all the people in China are racist. So as long as it only works one way and only white people be racist, then you can dismiss it as the utter, total nonsense that it is. You've been with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.